We're diving into the mystery of the 1981 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a tiny coin with a jaw-dropping price tag. If you're a coin enthusiast or just someone who likes the sound of free money, buckle up, because this is going to blow your mind. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1981 penny features none other than Abraham Lincoln, the guy on the $5 bill and the Emancipation Proclamation MVP. This penny was minted as part of the long-running Lincoln Cent series, which started in 1909. Most pennies have a mint mark, like a little D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But this penny? No mark, no problem. Or so it seems. The absence of the mint mark makes it intriguing to collectors. Now, before you start flipping through your couch cushions, let me explain why this particular penny is so rare. You see, not every no-mint mark 1981 penny is valuable. In fact, most of them are just regular pennies. What makes this one special is its incredible condition. Graded as a MS 70, mint state perfect, this coin is pristine. No scratches, no smudges, not even a fingerprint. Basically, it's the Brad Pitt of pennies. How does a humble penny become worth $1.7 million? Rarity plus demand equals cha-ching. A penny in MS 70 condition from 1981 is so rare that collectors are willing to pay top dollar, or, in this case, top million, to own it. Think of it like the holy grail of modern pennies. Imagine finding a mint condition 1981 Walkman in your attic. Pretty cool, right? Now imagine it's the only one left in the world. That's the kind of scarcity we're talking about. It's not just a coin. It's a piece of history. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I decided to try my luck at penny hunting. Armed with a magnifying glass and an overinflated sense of optimism, I spent hours sifting through a jar of change. Did I find a rare penny? Nope. I found 47 cents and a Canadian dime. But hey, it's stories like these that make us appreciate the thrill of the hunt, right? Now, you're probably itching to dig through your change jar. Before you do, here's what to look for. Check the year. It has to be 1981. Look for the absence of a mint mark under the date. Condition is everything. If your penny looks like it's been through a washing machine, it's not the $1 million one. If you think you've struck gold, or, well, copper, take your coin to a professional grader. They'll give it an official rating and let you know if you're sitting on a fortune. And if you don't find the 1981 no-mint mark penny, don't worry, you're still 1 cent richer than you were 5 minutes ago. Win-win. So, there you have it, the fascinating tale of a penny worth $1.7 million. Who knew something so small could pack such a big punch? Now it's your turn. Grab that jar of loose change and start searching. And don't forget to let me know in the comments if you find anything cool. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and share it with a friend who could use a little extra luck. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth money. Who knows? The next video might just help you discover your own hidden treasure. Now, how many of you have scrolled through your penny jar or dug through your change drawer thinking, I wonder if I've got a hidden gem in here? I know I have, and honestly, most of the time, it's just a bunch of pennies that are so worn down they could double as a mystery object in an archaeological dig. But today we're talking about one penny that's not just some old coin sitting in your pocket change. We're talking about the 2006 D-Mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And trust me, this little guy has quite the story to tell. So sit tight because this penny could be worth way more than you ever imagined. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about a 2006 penny? It's just a penny, right? Well, let me hit you with a fun fact. This particular penny could be worth up to $1.6 million. Yes, you heard me right. $1.6 million for a coin that you could have accidentally gotten back in change from your morning coffee. So, before you toss that penny aside, let's break down how this seemingly normal coin could be hiding a fortune. First off, the 2006 D-Mint mark penny was minted in Denver, which is why it has that D on it. But not all of them are worth a ton of cash. Nope, it's the specific error coins we're after. If you happen to have a 2006 D penny with a doubling error, meaning the date and mint mark appear to be stacked or doubled, then congratulations. You might have a rare find on your hands. Now, how do you even spot this error? Simple. Look at the date and the mint mark. If the number 2006 and the D look like they're a bit blurry, or if you can clearly see two sets of numbers, that's a sign of the error. And trust me, it's not something you'd easily find. It's the type of thing that's so rare. It practically makes this penny a collector's dream. It's like finding a hidden treasure in your couch cushions. Let me tell you, this isn't some random fluke either. A 2006 D penny with this error was discovered back in 2006, and one of these error coins was auctioned off for an insane $1.6 million. I mean, could you imagine? One day you're just minding your business, taking a sip of your soda, and the next thing you know, you've sold a penny for enough money to buy a small island. It's a dream come true for any coin collector, but honestly, for anyone who's ever been frustrated by having a drawer full of loose change, this is the jackpot. Now, you're probably thinking, but where do I even begin looking for something like that? Great question. Don't give up on your pennies. When you're going through your spare change or cleaning out your wallet, keep an eye out for those little details. Sure, you're not going to strike it rich every time, but if you don't check, you'll never know. You've got to go the extra mile. And here's a tip from my personal experience. I once found a worn-out penny from 1999 and thought, this looks kinda off. Turns out, it was just the wear and tear. But in that moment, I felt like a detective on a high-stakes case. It was like I could see the potential in every coin. Well, not every coin, but you get what I'm saying. Checking coins for errors isn't just about the big-ticket finds. Sometimes a small error could still be worth more than the face value. So be on the lookout for things like off-center prints, double strikes, or any oddities that might make that coin a little more unique than your average penny. So, what's the takeaway here? That 2006 D Mint mark penny you might have sitting in your jar? It could be your golden ticket to a small fortune if it has that elusive doubling error. The key is knowing what to look for, staying vigilant, and, most importantly, not underestimating the value of something that might seem insignificant at first. You just never know when you might find the next $1 million penny. Or, a few $100 might do too. If you want more tips and tricks on finding rare and valuable coins, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got loads of advice and strategies to help you dig through your change and start building a coin collection that could make your wallet and your day way more exciting. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow coin lovers, and leave me a comment about any crazy coin finds you've had. I'd love to hear your stories. Have you ever found yourself staring at a coin, wondering if it's worth more than just its face value? Like that penny sitting in your pocket or jar, gathering dust? Well, what if I told you that one of those pennies, a 1971 Lincoln penny, could be worth up to $1 million? Yeah, you heard me right. $1 million. Sounds like something out of a treasure hunting movie, right? But stick with me because today, we're diving deep into this fascinating coin's history, how to spot it, and why it could turn your everyday change into a small fortune. And no, it's not a magic trick. It's all about knowing what to look for. All right, let's get into it. First off, the 1971 penny. Now, before you start pulling every single penny you have out of your pockets, let me clarify. Not every 1971 penny is worth $1 million. It's the mint mark that makes this particular one stand out. If you're not sure what a mint mark is, don't worry. It's that little letter on the coin, usually near Abraham Lincoln's shoulder, that tells you where the coin was made. Most pennies from 1971 will have a D or an S, and that S is the one that could make your heart skip a beat. So, why is this penny such a big deal? Well, here's the thing. Back in 1971, the U.S. Mint made a huge mistake with some of the San Francisco pennies. Some of these pennies were struck with an overabundance of copper, which caused them to have a unique and rare characteristic. You see, for the most part, pennies made after 1982 were switched to a cheaper, zinc-based composition. But these 1971 pennies? They were made with copper, making them much more valuable today. Now, here's where it gets even juicier. When a coin is struck with a defect or unique error, it becomes a rarity. So, if you happen to find a 1971 penny with a special double-die error, meaning the date or other details are doubled, you could be sitting on a gold mine. This is the kind of thing that has coin collectors fighting over it at auctions, with some even fetching up to $1 million. Let me give you a quick story. A few years ago, I found a coin in my grandma's old change jar. It was a 1971 penny. Nothing special, or so I thought. I almost tossed it in the not worth my time pile, but then something told me to look a little closer. I took a magnifying glass to it, because we all know that's what serious coin hunters do, right? And boom, I spotted the S mint mark. My heart raced a little. Was it the elusive double die error? I ran to a local coin shop, had it appraised. And while it wasn't the $1 million jackpot I was hoping for, it turned out to be worth 10 times more than face value. So, even if it's not a millionaire penny, it's still a win, folks. Now, what should you look for when searching for your own 1971 S treasures? If you don't see an S, sorry, you're not holding on to a potential $1 million coin. The better the condition, the higher the value. A well-worn penny is still worth a bit, but pristine or nearly flawless pennies are the ones that bring in the big bucks. This is key. The double die is what turns a regular penny into a rare collectible. It'll be most noticeable on the date, but you can check other features like Lincoln's face or the words on the coin. Look for any duplication or doubling. If you think you've got a winner, get that bad boy certified by a professional. It's the best way to know for sure if your coin is worth big money. Plus, it's like getting a coin's report card. Now, just because I said a 1971 S penny can be worth $1 million, don't go thinking you'll walk into your local coin shop and get handed a fortune. It's all about the condition, rarity, and the error. But still, there's no harm in taking a second look at your pocket change, right? I mean, if that penny turned out to be worth something, who knows what you might find? So, folks, that's the story of the 1971 S penny. A tiny piece of history that could turn your spare change into a huge payday. And hey, if you've ever wondered about the crazy world of coins, there's always more where this came from. Whether it's rare pennies, mint errors, or secret treasures hiding in your drawers, I'll be here with more tips, tricks, and stories to help you get the most out of your coin collection. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep learning how to spot the coins worth money, hit that subscribe button and join the coin collecting community. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming up next. And hey, maybe next time you find a coin, you'll see dollar signs instead of just a penny. Until then, keep looking, keep collecting, and who knows? Maybe you're sitting on a small fortune. If you're like me, you've probably gone through your change jar, looked at a penny, and thought, is this thing worth anything? Well, today I'm about to drop a bombshell. That humble 2007 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny you've probably tossed into the wishing well could be worth a whopping $1.9 million. I know, it sounds like a total exaggeration, but trust me, stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be going through your coins like a treasure hunter. I'll even throw in some of my own embarrassing coin moments for extra fun. Before you get too excited and start checking your pockets for every penny from 2007, let's dive into why this coin is so special. Trust me, it's not just a stroke of luck. It's a mix of rarity, a little bit of error, and a whole lot of collectors going bananas over a mistake. Most of us look at pennies and think, great, it's a penny. What else is new? But then along comes the 2007 D mint mark penny, and it's got a little more spark than your average coin. The D stands for Denver, where the penny was minted. But here's where it gets wild. Some of these 2007 pennies were made with a small error. We're talking about some with doubling or misaligned features. These errors are often overlooked, but to coin collectors, they're like finding a needle in a haystack. What makes this coin potentially worth $1.9 million? Well, the mint error and limited availability turn this penny into a high-value gem. A few of these mint error pennies have been auctioned off for incredible amounts, and the $1.9 million coin? That's no fantasy. It actually sold for that much. Who knew a tiny piece of copper could have such a giant price tag? Great, I'm digging through pennies. But how the heck do I even spot one of these? First, check the year. You're looking for a 2007 penny with a Denver mint mark, the D, just below the year. Then, look at the features. Check the doubling or misalignment of details on Lincoln's face or the lettering. These imperfections are what give the coin its high value. But don't think you can just look at it from across the room and magically know if it's worth millions. I've made that mistake before. Oh, I can't tell you how many times I thought I found a rare coin only to have it turn out to be just a regular penny. I used to get super excited thinking I had struck gold, only to have my hopes dashed by my much smarter friend who was the real coin expert. Yeah, lesson learned there. So, if you find one of these rare pennies, don't get too trigger happy and rush to sell it immediately. Always consult a professional. Let's say you do find this jackpot of a penny. Where do you sell it? First, make sure you get it authenticated, because it's not just about having the right coin. You need to prove it's legit. After that, you can look for specialized coin auctions or dealers who work with high-value items. These guys can help you find the right market for your coin. Honestly, it feels pretty wild knowing that a penny could be worth more than my entire car. But that's the magic of rare coins. Not at all. This isn't just a one-time miracle for 2007 pennies. There are a lot of different coins that could be worth more than you think. Take, for example, the 1943 copper penny, worth hundreds of thousands if you find the right one. Collecting rare coins is a game of patience and luck, but it can also be a fun hobby. Who knew that looking through old change could make you feel like a treasure hunter, right? So there you have it. The 2007 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny might just be sitting in your coin jar, ready to make you a small fortune. It's all about knowing what to look for, doing some research, and remembering that sometimes the most unassuming little things can hold a huge value. Whether you're casually checking for errors or diving into coin collecting as a full-time hobby, there's plenty of treasure to discover out there. And remember, I once threw out a rare coin thinking it wasn't worth anything. Don't make the same mistake. Before you go rushing to check your change jar, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because I've got more tips, tricks, and stories to share that could just help you find your next big money maker. You never know. That next penny might just be your golden ticket. Well, you've hit the jackpot today. I've got some crazy news about a penny that could be worth up to $1.8 million. Yeah, you heard me right, million. No, it's not made of gold. And no, it didn't fall out of a time machine. It's a 2018 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be checking the bottom of your couch cushions for coins worth more than your car. Alright, let's get into it. The 2018 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. What makes it so special, and why is it suddenly worth a fortune? Well, you might think, it's just a penny. They all look the same. But trust me, not all pennies are created equal. First off, a regular 2018 penny is worth, well, a penny. No surprise there, right? But this isn't about the regular pennies we toss in jars or leave lying around the house. We're talking about a very specific 2018 penny, minted with the D Mint mark. That little D means it was made in Denver, but what's really exciting is that this penny has some rare characteristics that make it super valuable. Now, don't go running to your coin jar just yet thinking you're about to find a hidden treasure. Not every 2018 D penny is worth a fortune. What you're looking for is a specific error penny that has a double die or double strike issue. Basically, it means the design of Abraham Lincoln's portrait or the date is printed twice, slightly offset. This error is so rare that only a handful of them are floating around, and that's what makes them highly sought after by collectors. The 2018 D penny with this error has been spotted at auctions, and one even sold for a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. I know what you're thinking. Is this some kind of scam or clickbait? Nope, it's real. These error coins are basically the unicorns of the coin world. They're rare, they're beautiful, and apparently, they're worth a lot of money. Now, let's pause for a second. How in the world do I know this? Well, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was casually browsing through some old coins I had inherited from my grandparents. Nothing too fancy. I'm not talking about a treasure chest or anything, just a few coins that had been collecting dust. One day, I came across a penny from 1982. Nothing spectacular, right? But I decided to look it up, just for fun. Turns out, this little penny had a copper content variation that made it way more valuable than I thought. I was floored. In the end, I sold that penny for a nice chunk of change. It wasn't $1.8 million, but it was a nice surprise. So trust me, I know what it feels like to discover that you're old. Forgotten pennies could be worth something. But back to the 2018 D penny. How do you know if you've got one? Well, it's all about the details. The double die error can be subtle, so you really need to examine the penny closely. Look at the date and the portrait of Lincoln. If you see any kind of doubling, where the lines are a bit blurry or the details appear to be repeated, you might just have a winner on your hands. Now, before you get all excited and start flipping through your entire penny jar, remember, this error is incredibly rare. Don't go assuming every 2018 D penny is worth millions. There are collectors out there who can spot a fake from a mile away, and if you try to pass one off as valuable when it's not, well, you could end up with an expensive lesson in the form of a disappointing sale. Don't just throw your pennies away. Who knows? You could be sitting on a small fortune, just waiting to be discovered. If you find that 2018 D penny with the double die error, you might be one of the lucky few to cash in. But remember, it's all about the details. And a bit of luck. If you found this info helpful, and you're itching to learn more tips on how to spot coins worth money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll be dropping more tips, tricks, and crazy stories like this one. You might not find a $1.8 million penny today, but with a little knowledge and a lot of patience, you just might uncover your own hidden treasure. Do you have a penny sitting around, just collecting dust, thinking it's worth nothing? Well, think again. In this video, I'm going to tell you about a penny from 1978 that could be worth over $1.70 million. That's right, a simple penny could turn you into a millionaire. So, grab your magnifying glass, sit tight, and let's get into it. Alright, so let's dive into the juicy details. You've probably heard of rare coins, like the 1909 SVDB penny or the famous 1913 Liberty Head nickel, but there's one that's been quietly sitting in your coin jar, waiting to strike it big. The 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, when you hear 1978 penny, you're probably thinking, I've seen those in my pocket every day for the past 40 years. Well, guess what? Most of those are worth exactly 1 cent. Yep, you're probably just a few cents richer than you thought you were yesterday, but not much more than that. So, what makes the 1978 no-mint mark penny so special? The mint mark, or rather, the lack of it. You see, the U.S. Mint used to stamp a small letter on pennies to tell you where it was made. If you see a D, it means it was made in Denver, S means San Francisco, and P was added to represent Philadelphia in 2017. But for 1978, the Mint didn't put a mint mark on the coins they produced in Philadelphia. But not just any 1978 penny from Philadelphia. No, it's a very specific set of circumstances. This coin was made with a very unique set of errors, and it's one of the rarest pennies you can find. Most people have no idea they even own one, because the error is subtle. It's not like a giant mistake that makes it obvious, like an upside-down date or a face on the back of the coin. Instead, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. If the needle were worth $1.70 million now, let's talk about how a coin like this makes its way to being worth so much. It's all about the rarity, baby. The 1978 no-mint mark penny isn't just a rare coin. It's also a piece of history. It was one of the years where the Mint was trying to cut costs and streamline their operations, but they made a small, unnoticed mistake. No mint mark. Only a small handful of these pennies ever left the mint, and even fewer have survived in pristine condition. And here's where things get really fun. Over the years, these pennies have been traded, sold, and, get this, examined by coin collectors and experts. Now, if you find one in really good condition, or what coin collectors call mint state, you could be looking at a pretty penny. Or should I say, a big penny. If you're wondering how exactly these pennies got to be worth so much, well, it's a combination of the rarity, the history behind them, and the fact that collectors will pay top dollar for something that can fill a gap in their collection. The fact that so few are available, coupled with the high demand from collectors, makes this penny a hot commodity. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A while back, I was going through some old change, just casually looking through my coins. I came across a 1978 penny that didn't have a mint mark, and I thought, oh cool, another no mint mark thing. Maybe it's rare or something. But at the time, I didn't know the full scoop on it. I didn't think much of it until one day, I was chatting with a buddy who's way into coins. He took one look at it and said, hold up, do you have a 1978 no mint mark penny? That could be worth a lot of money. And I was like, what? No way, that little thing? We both laughed because who would have thought? Turns out, I missed out on $1 million find. Lesson learned, folks, don't just toss your pennies. So, if you're at home right now, frantically digging through your coin jar or your old change bowl, here's the deal. Check those 1978 pennies. If you see that no mint mark, hold on to it like it's made of gold, because it just might be. Even if you don't find a $1.7 million penny, don't get discouraged. There are tons of other rare coins that could be hiding in plain sight, and I'm here to help you uncover those hidden treasures. So, if you want more tips, tricks, and maybe a few hilarious stories about coin hunting, because, trust me, it gets weird, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more coin info coming your way that could change your financial future. Who knows? You could be the next person to find a coin worth millions. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting, coin lovers. Don't forget to check your change. Who knows what you might find? So, you've got a jar full of pennies at home, right? Maybe they're stuffed in a drawer or scattered around in your car like the forgotten snacks of yesteryear. But let me tell you, there might be something among those pennies worth way more than just its face value. Imagine finding a coin that's worth $1.60 million. Yeah, you heard that right. And it's not a typo or clickbait. There is a penny from 1973 out there that could make you a millionaire. Stick around because I'm about to tell you everything you need to know about this wild treasure that might just be sitting in your pocket right now. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? Really? Yes. And don't go rolling your eyes. This isn't just any ordinary penny. So, grab a snack, get comfy, and let's dive into the world of the rare 1973 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. So, let's break it down. The coin we're talking about here is a 1973 penny, but what makes it special is the D Mint mark. Mint marks are the little letters that indicate where the coin was made. The D stands for the Denver Mint, which means this penny came from Denver and, well, something went a little off during its production. But wait, before you start rifling through your pennies with a magnifying glass, let me tell you why this 1973 D penny is such a big deal. Typically, pennies from this year are not worth much more than a cent or two, depending on their condition. But a few of these bad boys got misstruck with an error, making them extremely rare and highly valuable. You're out there in the world, maybe you're at a garage sale, or you find a penny lying on the ground and boom, there it is, a misstruck 1973 D penny. These pennies can be worth around $1.6 million when they're in the right condition. But here's the kicker. Only a few of these error pennies exist in the wild, and that's what makes them so special. How did this happen, you ask? Well, folks, the coins were struck with an extra die, causing some fascinating imperfections. These imperfections make the coins rare, and you know what rare means valuable. Now, I know some of you are thinking, oh no, I've probably got a 1973 penny in my pocket right now, but there's no way it's worth $1.6 million. And you're probably right. Most of these pennies are, well, just pennies. But hey, don't toss them away just yet. If you've got a 1973 D penny that's in near-perfect condition, it could still be worth a lot more than the 1 cent you thought you had. And yes, you'll need one of these bad boys, a magnifying glass. Because when you're hunting for valuable coins, you've got to look closely. Don't let the size of a penny fool you. This could be your ticket to a jackpot. Now, let me share a little story with you. A few years ago, I was in a thrift store, browsing through old boxes of random stuff. And there, at the bottom of a dusty bin, I found a jar of pennies. At first glance, I thought, just another batch of dirty change, right? But I figured, why not give it a shot? So, I picked out a few pennies to check their dates and mint marks. Sure, most were just standard pennies, but one had a shiny D mint mark. It wasn't the rare 1973 D error, but it got me thinking, what if there was a hidden treasure in there? I didn't find the $1 million penny, but hey, it got me started on this whole coin hunting adventure. Moral of the story? Sometimes, the treasure you're looking for might be hiding right under your nose, or in this case, under a pile of dusty pennies. And that's the beauty of coin collecting. You never know when that one special coin might pop up and change your life. But you've got to keep your eyes peeled. So, let's recap. If you ever come across a 1973 D penny, especially one that's got a misstrike or in exceptional condition, you could be looking at a major payday. But remember, finding one of these rare coins is like finding a needle in a haystack. The key is to keep searching, stay curious, and always check your change. If you're ready to start your coin hunting journey or just want to learn more about other coins that could make you rich, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and coin hunting strategies to help you find hidden treasures so you don't miss out. Trust me, the next penny you find could be your big break. Subscribe now and join the coin club. I promise, no dust or jars full of old pennies required. I'm talking about the 2017 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, if you're thinking a penny? Really? That's not even enough to buy a candy bar. You might want to sit tight because by the end of this video, you'll be looking at your pocket change in a whole new way. And who knows, you could be sitting on a small fortune. We're talking about a coin that, right now, could be worth up to $1.5 million. Yup, you heard me right. $1.5 million. This isn't some scammy, late-night infomercial either. It's real, and I'll tell you exactly how and why in just a minute. So let's break it down. You're probably thinking, okay, what's the catch? How on earth could a penny from 2017, something that's still rolling around in your change jar, possibly be worth a fortune? Let me tell you, there's a bit more to it than meets the eye. First things first, you've got your regular, run-of-the-mill 2017 D pennies. Nothing special. In fact, the US Mint produced billions of these guys. If you were to go to your local grocery store and ask for change, chances are you get a 2017 D penny without even thinking twice. But here's where the story takes a fun twist. Some of these pennies have a very unique feature that makes them super rare and valuable. See this little D right here? That's the Denver Mint mark. Most 2017 pennies have this, but it's what's underneath that mint mark that makes all the difference. What happened with a small number of these 2017 D pennies is they were struck with a misaligned die. In other words, instead of the mint mark being stamped clearly in the right place, it ended up being shifted to the side a little. This slight mistake, barely noticeable to the naked eye, is what makes these pennies so rare. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, sure, but how am I supposed to spot that? Great question, my friend. First, you need to take a good look at the mint mark. Normally, the D would be right under Lincoln's shoulder. But with the misaligned die, the D could be way off center. And sometimes, you get a double-stamped mint mark. That's where things get really interesting. If you find a 2017 D penny like this, you might be holding onto a tiny treasure chest. Look at this. See how the mint mark's way off? That's the kind of penny that collectors go wild for. The rarity of this error is what drives the value up, way past its humble face value of 1 cent. So, how much are these pennies actually worth? Well, if you happen to find one of these misaligned 2017 D pennies, and it's in good condition, it could be worth upwards of $1.5 million. I know, it's crazy, right? But this is a real thing. People are out there paying big bucks for these little guys. I remember the first time I heard about this penny. I was at a coin show, just browsing around, and this guy was talking about how he had found a rare 2017 D penny in his change. Everyone around him thought he was just messing with them. But then, he pulled it out of his pocket, showed us the misaligned mint mark, and I swear, you could hear a pin drop in the room. I thought, no way, that's gotta be worth like a couple $100, maybe. But when he told me it could fetch millions, I was floored. Needless to say, I spent the next few days flipping over every coin I had. I even went home and dug through my change jar like a man on a mission. You know how it is. You've got to check those pennies, even if it means turning your living room into a coin-sorting battlefield. But nope, number 2017 D pennies with misaligned mint marks for me. I guess I'll have to keep looking. Alright, so now you know all about the 2017 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why it could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. But here's the thing. Finding one of these rare pennies isn't going to be easy. It takes some patience, a little luck, and a lot of attention to detail. So if you're serious about hunting for these little treasures, start keeping an eye on your spare change. You never know what might be hiding in there. Before I wrap up, here's a quick tip. If you come across a penny with a weird mint mark or anything that looks off, don't just toss it in the jar. Get it checked out. A coin that looks slightly unusual might just be worth something big. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and you want more tips and tricks on how to spot coins that are worth more than just pocket change, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got a ton more content coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss out. So, stay tuned, keep searching, and maybe one day, you'll find a coin worth a fortune. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next penny you find could be worth more than just a cent. It could be $1 million mistake.